It goes without saying that McLaren are having one of the worst seasons since they ended things with Honda, and one driver that isn't particularly happy with how the MCL36 has performed is Lando Norris. The Briton has had a lot to say regarding the McLaren's performance so far, and on top of that, he provided a very pessimistic statement when it comes to when we can see them performing at a top-notch level. Norris hasn't held back on recent tyre strategies, and rest assured that the working-based team will have full hands-off work during the winter break. Prior to that, they have a battle they need to win in the Constructors' Championship with Alpine, something that Norris provided his share of thoughts for. Prior to us going into Norris's recent rant on McLaren, make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. Lando Norris has been part of McLaren ever since 2019 when he replaced Fernando Alonso, who decided to take a sabbatical and return later in 2021. The Briton was very close to signing with Red Bull's junior team Toro Rosso, now known as AlphaTauri, but we'll get to that later in this video as we want to talk about the disappointment that Norris is feeling towards McLaren in the 2022 season first. Lando has been really competitive in the 2020 and 2021 seasons, and the last season saw him earn his first career pole position in Russia and be close to the first win of his career in Russia and Monza. However, these didn't see the light of day, and the 2022 season has proven to be a catastrophic one for the working-based team. To say that Norris didn't expect to fight for P8 and P7 after being on the podium multiple times in the 2021 season is an understatement. This is something that Norris himself said in a recent interview, adding that whatever is happening right now at McLaren is far from the big picture plans. I guess you always feel a little bit disappointed when you just expect a little bit more than what you're achieving. It's frustrating at times because you feel like you put in some good laps and you're disappointed that you're only P6 or P10 or whatever it is. I'm satisfied with being 7th, but within the big picture, am I happy? No, I want to win races. I'm not here to keep finishing P7. Well, rest assured that Norris will have a lot to say when it comes to McLaren developing their 2023 car, as the team will have a lot of work on their hands in the upcoming period. But that will happen during the winter break and prior to the 5th of March, when the first race in Bahrain is set to take place. As of now, McLaren has 2 more races to beat Alpine for the P4 spot in the Constructors' Championship, something that Alpine's reliability issues have helped them in a lot. That is something that has been pointed out by Norris and by Alonso, with the Spaniard saying that the reliability issues are something that have hindered the fight for P4 in the Constructors' Championship a lot. Norris added that he has absolutely no idea how they are still in the fight with Alpine, given how poorly the MCL36 performs, but said that he will give everything that is in his power in order to win this battle and help his team receive a bigger paycheck from F1. However, Norris has said some interesting things about his team when it comes to the Mexico GP, and one huge factor in why he was motivated to talk about this was the fact that his teammate was set on a tactic that Norris wanted for himself. The Mexico GP was a race that saw drivers implement the one-stopper, changing from medium to hard compound tires, but some of them were able to do the two-stopper, changing from hard compound tires to the softs. That is something Ricciardo did and was able to cruise past the field and finish P7. On top of that, the Aussie was able to neutralize a 10-second penalty that was given to him due to the contact he made with Tsunoda, and he was able to keep the number 7 spot ahead of Ocon. Norris finished 10th, and although he is grateful for the 1 point that helped his team a lot in the battle with Alpine, it's not where he sees the team in the future. When talking about the Mexican GP and the tyre strategy that was a mistake, Norris said, "I lost just 2 places in the beginning, obviously both to the Alpines, which is the main thing. We covered Yuki very early on, which meant I had to go onto the hard tyre. So that is not really what I wanted to do. Maybe it was a bit of a mistake to do that. But Daniel did what I wanted to do, which was to stay out and then go onto the soft, which was like 30 to 40 seconds quicker in terms of race time. Yeah, we made a mistake going onto the hard tyre. You don't have to use it. We chose it. That's life." This isn't the first time that Norris has hinted out that his team is using wrong tyre strategies and wrong tactics. We remember that during the Baku GP, Norris was really angry towards McLaren for letting Ricciardo ahead of him and not giving him permission to pass the Aussie. However, Norris was given clear air thanks to Ricciardo falling back in the beginning of the race, and when it was evident that he could not make a difference, they swapped the places back. Norris has been perceived as an arrogant driver most of the time, and a comment he made towards Kravitz when the commentator said that Norris's start at the Mexico GP was awful just goes to prove our point. When Kravitz shared that comment with Norris, he told him, "You should try driving, mate," implying that commenting from this side is much easier than actually hopping in a car and doing what's required of you to do. Norris has downplayed the 2022 season ever since it started, and he said that he knew they would struggle this much ever since the preseason testing. The first race in Bahrain saw the McLarens struggling a lot when it comes to the brake heating, but this issue was fixed for the upcoming races. Still, Norris is the only driver that was able to score a podium that is not part of Mercedes, Red Bull or Ferrari. When talking about the 2022 season and the stalled progress that the Woking-based team had, Norris said, "I don't think it's changed anything. I didn't come into the season expecting us to be on the podium every weekend and fighting, maybe not for the top steps, but for third, fourth and fifth. I wasn't probably expecting that every weekend. So it's always hard, especially when it's a new car, a new era of cars, to know exactly what's going to happen, and people are always going to find much better solutions, like with Red Bull not porpoising and not bouncing anywhere near as much as other people's cars, like Mercedes' car. Norris will have a new teammate from 2023 on, and although he's been able to absolutely destroy Ricciardo performance-wise, this is not a guarantee with Piastri. The younger Aussie is a Formula 2 champion and wants to make a statement for himself in F1. What better team to achieve this than McLaren? What are the team's expectations for the future? According to Norris, he expects the Woking-based team to return to winning ways after such a long pause in 2024 or 2025, and the next season will be very similar to what we've been able to witness so far in 2022. It's quite a pessimistic approach, don't you think? This will be our first year in 2024 in which we have no more excuses. I'm super happy and comfortable. I enjoy it at McLaren. I like working with these guys. I believe in you. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have signed a long-term contract. My head looks ahead. My ideas are long-term. We have to keep working. In 2024 and 2025, I will have my best chance with McLaren. What's very interesting about Norris is that although he signed a contract extension with McLaren until the 2025 season, he was very close to replacing Hartley in Toro Rosso, now known as AlphaTauri. This place was given to Alex Albon in the 2018 season, and just 1 year later, Albon was the go-to guy when it came to replacing Gasly's seat in Red Bull, with the Frenchman competing in just 13 races with the Austrian team. It would have been a very interesting lineup with Norris and Verstappen, but now we're left to our imaginations as to what would have happened back then. Norris does have a mission to bring McLaren back to the winning path, and although that seems like a mission impossible given how things stand with Red Bull and Verstappen, the Briton will have tons of work with his team. What do you think about Norris's comments made towards McLaren? Do you think that he has every right to feel betrayed by the tactics used by his team in Mexico? Let us know in the comments below.